All right, hey, what's going on, guys? So I have a video for you today. I have a prophetic dream that I want to share. Normally, I would wait till the Lord gives me the green light to share something, but this dream is something I had last night. And as I was in prayer and asking the Lord what it is that He wanted me to talk about today, He gave me the green light to give this dream, and I had no holdbacks to wait on this. And so I believe it's urgent. I believe it's something that a lot of people will be encouraged by and should hear, because it pertains to what is shortly going to come to pass, as well as the destiny and the overall direction that China and the people of China, I believe, will have. And so I had this dream last night, and I woke up after having this dream, and I felt led to just quickly look at the time, and the time said 5:16 a.m., and it just stuck with me, and I wrote the dream down. It was a vivid dream, but I was so tired, to be honest, that I couldn't capture all the details. And as the morning and the day goes, it sort of wanes unless you really write it down. And so I'm going to do my best to give what I can, the high level stuff. And I pray that the interpretation, as well as anything that I'm missing, would come to light. And I'm going to allow the Spirit to lead in this video. But if I am missing something, I apologize, but I want to give at least what the dream was. And so I was going to bed, and I basically woke up, or I basically started the dream, or in some process of the dream, saw a lot of different people. I saw people that obviously it was in China. It was a lot of Chinese people, and they looked like they were just ordinary citizens. I wrote down that some of them were drivers or taxi drivers or moving to get to some places. But I saw that there were lots of people. They looked like they had demonic or negative influences that were coming up to these people and beating them up and severely and brutally attacking them. And so for a period, these people were getting beat down. They're all Chinese people. They were getting beat down. And I was just witnessing this happen by all these people, demonic forces that I couldn't clearly see. But clearly these people seemed innocent, or they seemed like they were just going about their business, when suddenly they had been beaten up. And so as that was happening, it sort of changed scenes, and I saw these same people come alive, meaning that they were on fire. And so they looked like they were being burned alive, but instead of suffering, they were walking through the land. And so I saw them sort of lined up or in batches, and they were going through basically like I wrote down crops, but the throughout the land, it looked like they were walking through, like fields and different things. And as they were walking, everything they had passed by and touched were burning up. And so just imagine maybe a wheat field or something like that, or a cornfield, that are walking through it, and they were sort of strategically lined up such that none of the things had passed through them. So everything was being burnt up. And as they were walking, they just demolished everything in their path. They were clearly on fire physically, but they didn't seem like they were suffering at all. And so after that happened, they went through, but as the dream had shortly ended after that. But in the dream, the feeling I got was that the crops and the fields were burning, but that wasn't the end of it. It was almost like, like the California wildfires or Australian wildfires, where there's controlled burning, in a sense, where you burn something down such that it grows even better and more fruitful. And so there are, you can look this up, but basically there are fire, fighters and people that basically control burnings within a certain dry area in order for vegetation and crops to grow even better the second time around. And so there's a seasonal thing or whatever it is. But that was the sense I was getting in the dream. They were burning things such that things would come up even better. And so I woke up, and basically it was very vivid but very simple. And I knew, as I was looking at the clock and as I was about to write it down, I thought, man, that was definitely a prophetic dream. And I want to give you guys what I believe the Lord was showing me in terms of its interpretation. And if I left anything out, I want to also just leave that as, open to anybody else hearing this, as well as if the Spirit leads in the future. And so 5:16 a.m. In biblical kind of numbers, 5 means grace, and 16 means love, right? So together it's grace and in love. And so I believe that the Lord was showing me a dream that was out of grace and in love, specifically for the people of China, specifically for the direction that the nation of China and the Chinese people are going, but not necessarily the movement, not necessarily what they represent or the government or the demonic forces behind it represents, which is of communism, which is of self-centeredness, which is of an anti-God society. And so the first thing that came to my mind and in my spirit was that there's going to be a revival in China. There's going to be people that though they've been beaten down, though they've been humiliated, though they've been quiet, there are going to be people that rise up and they're going to be on fire in such a way that they're going to demolish things that are in their path, and they're going to make way for fruit, for crops, for vegetation, for different things to sprout up behind them. And so they're going to make a way. And there's already, underground churches and underground people that are rising up to do that. But there's going to be such a wave that it's undeniable as people that are on fire for the Lord, that are on fire as it was represented to me physically, that they're going to clear a path for more vegetation, more fruit to come beyond that. And so that's one. The other thing that I felt that I was given was that the demonic forces, and I'm not saying it goes away completely, but the things that are going to be exposed, the things that are in the light or in the darkness will come to light, and those will be fully known, whether it's people that have manipulated and assaulted other people, specifically like in my dream, or whatever it is that people are doing behind closed doors that's going on across the world, things that they have a hand in, those things will be exposed, those things will come to light. And though they were beating people up and they thought they had control over certain groups, certain societies, certain people groups, especially the Chinese, that isn't going to take a foothold, because those same people that the evil forces believe that they were having a control and a beat down on, those same people are going to turn around and make a difference, walking through the fields, walking through the fruits of the land and making an impact and a difference. So people are going to rise up. They're not beaten down. They're not going to die from whatever it is that's of oppression, and they're going to come out stronger and making an impact more than ever. And so that's the second thing. And I believe that this prophetically means for the nation what God has ordained and decided for this group. And I believe that in the future, whether it's in the short period or soon to come to pass, that these things will happen for the nation of China, and that the souls of that nation aren't lost. There's going to be great revival. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen specifically with that nation. And even though a nation like that have been looked at with a sneering eye, with a negative eye, even with what they do, it can be redeemed, and things that are negative, that are dark, that are demonic, those can be reversed, those can be quelched, those things can be taken down, and that people that have previously been marginalized, been hurt, been used, been manipulated, they can turn around and they can make a difference in Jesus' name, and that they can be redeemed, and that this would be a plan for many people in the nation of China, and that more things would come. And also, symbolically speaking, the fire, the obvious, miraculous sort of awe that you have when you see somebody literally on fire, thinking that they would be dying, that they would be suffering, because God is who he is in his form and what he does miraculously. Symbolically speaking, what you see is not what you think will happen. And so for these people that are on fire, or for what we've seen in the natural, there's other things, other consequences, other outcomes that will happen for these people and for that nation. And so specifically, this is a warning as well as an exhortation prophetically for the nation of China and for what I believe will happen shortly. And so God bless you guys in grace and in love. I share this of of the holistic meaning of this, but also I say that as I share this video for you guys. So God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.